What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storm Sessions. The weather's getting a little colder, which means basketball season is here, and we are with maybe the most exciting player to come to Coral Gables in quite some time. That is Jalil Bethea. Jalil, how you doing?
I'm doing good today.
Yeah, man, glad to have you here, for joining us. You know, before I even get to basketball or anything else, I got to ask you about where you might even be more famous, which is TikTok. Got 635,000 followers, a lot of dancing and stuff, not necessarily basketball on your TikTok. How'd that all get started?
I would say all of this got started probably literally like New Year's of 2020. I kind of just did it for like basically for my friends. You know, TikTok was kind of blowing up at that time, and I just really just wanted to make an account because back in the day it used to be Musically, and now it's like TikTok and everything. So I feel like I just wanted to go in there, just get away from basketball, just do like what I wanted to do, just be a kid.
Was the dancing always something that you did, or was that a new
Yeah,
thing?
I've always danced when I was younger, growing up to right now. Like I used to be like one of them kids that used to be in a circle, 8 years old, spit on his head and everything. I used to be one of them, just try to dance and every time.
Now you're in Miami, so we got different kind of musical styles, different dancing styles. You can incorporate that into TikTok or no?
Yeah, most likely. I don't even know how to dance like how the Florida people be dancing. They got a whole different type of movement. I don't know how to move like them.
You know, usually 635,000 followers, you're going to be the top dog in the building, but you got the Cavender twins. They got about 4.5 million. So does the
Yeah.
competitive part of you kind of come out and try to catch up to them?
No, they got it. No, I ain't gonna lie, they got that one.
So let's go back to back up north, Philadelphia, growing up. You know, just being a kid. What do you remember when you think back on those times?
Yeah, I'm actually not from North Philly. I'm from Uptown.
Okay.
Uptown Philadelphia. It's like similar to there, but
Yeah, I'm talking north to us. Everything's north to
oh yeah,
us.
yeah. But just like growing up in Philly, there's a lot of ups and downs, and it was tough growing up. Just not being like just not financially being there sometimes, but I feel like I kind of just went away from everybody, chose a different route from everybody, just worked hard every day, chose to play basketball, and I'm here now. Something that I always dreamed of, playing in a college D1 school, and hopefully to make my dream to go to the NBA.
You're talking to someone who coached you when you were 8, 9 years old. My man Nasir was great. He talked about how you were always determined. You know, just even from a young age, you were real focused. Talked about when you first came into the gym as like a 8, 9-year-old, you're already shooting half court shots, trying to be like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
It was. Let me start with Steph Curry. What was it about him that really inspired you?
Uh, at first, it really wasn't like an inspiration because like when I was younger, people said I looked like him when he went to Davidson. He had like a little bald head, he was a little light skinned, and I feel like when I was a younger age, that's like what I look like. So ever since then, I just been tracking him, and then like he's actually, who Steph Curry is, and he became the person that he is today, and I feel like I just been following him ever since. I always wanted to meet him, and I never did. He never invited me to his camp. I
Yeah.
felt bad, but
Maybe you'll meet him on an NBA court.
hopefully.
But you come in basketball player. I understand you also. It's hard to believe knowing how what you are in basketball, and you're not the heaviest guy. But I heard football was really your thing for a little bit. Or you really liked playing football.
Yeah, football was my first love. That was my dad's biggest thing. He was always a football person, and but my mom really wasn't a football person because playing football you get hurt easily. So my mom kind of just took me out of that because like I feel like it was just one time we were playing this team called the Blackhawks, and I had got hit in my head with a helmet, and my mom was like, "Yeah, after this you're done." So yeah, so I just been playing basketball ever since.
Well, they say mama knows best. Look where you are now. What position did you play when you played football?
I played a couple positions. I played QB, played wide receiver, and I played safety.
Look at that. Now you're kind of playing QB now, right? With the ball in your hands, having to make decisions and everything you do on the basketball court. 9 years old, I heard you made a pretty nice game-winning shot. Taking back to that moment and just the feeling of that.
That was actually my first game in a shot like ever, and that's something I will never forget. It was so surreal. It was a lot of people there. It was a bunch of moms and dads, so that kind of made me feel better. And it's just after I hit that shot, I kind of felt like Steph. Like I've always like watched him hit a lot of game winners, and that's just the person how I felt at that time. After the game, It was a big pile up. Somebody put their baby on top of the pile. Like it was just a crazy night. And then after we got pizza, like little kid stuff. And we went to this place called Friendlies. It was a good night.
You mentioned earlier just, some adversity kind of growing up, playing basketball and having that positive feeling and, like the moments you mentioned, was that sort of a release for you? Did it help you just kind of get your mind on something else besides, any adversity you were facing?
Yeah, I would say that was probably the most thing that I would get away from, cause Philly has a bad rep, and I feel like me making it out makes Philly look better because of the different route that I chose, and I feel like basketball kind of just took me to a different route from everybody else because everybody wanted to do this, but I chose to do that and chose my own route.
And was that something that you decided early? Like, we're at 8, 9 years old. Were you already thinking like, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna make the league at that point, or were you not even in that mindset?
I feel like at that time I really wasn't worrying about that until I got to high school. I probably say my freshman year, and when I was like dang, like I can really take this kind of far if I just really just put my head down and just keep working.
Now you mentioned Philly. Philly's known for basketball. Down here, no more for football and baseball, but Philly, basketball town. How would you describe Philly basketball?
I would say it's very aggressive. We have a lot of dogs in Philly. Shout out to all my underrated dogs in Philly. And I feel like we just, sometimes we have a bad rep, but I feel like that's just who we are. We gotta have that gremlin in us sometimes because that's where we're from. And I feel like we just take that wherever we go, and that's just our personality and our character.
When you weren't out there alone, on the court, you had your family supporting you the whole way through. I know your older brother, Jabril, kind of
Mhm.
like a basketball inspiration. Talk to me a little bit. Let's start with Jabril, just about how he influenced you.
My brother Jabril, he influenced me from a very young age. Me and him is 7 years apart. So at that time, he was very much older and very much experienced. So he would just take me to one of the like local parks. There's this local park called Lonnie Young, and he would take me there, and he was be like, bro, just shoot. Like we were just shooting around, and I'd just be shooting threes. I'm like 4 years old, I don't even have a form. I'm just throwing it all my might, and it's just I feel like that came a long way because without him, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today.
Do you think he saw the vision in you before you saw it? Like, was he one of these guys that was like, "Hey, you can really be something"?
Yeah, I feel like as I got older, he was telling me that because I kept getting taller and taller, close to his height, and he was like, "Dang, bro, like you getting tall. You might take this far." Like,
Your parents, I understood that they really, showed up for a lot of your games. Your dad stepped in as a coach at one point
hmm
when folks weren't available. Your mom always there. So talk
yeah.
about just their support for you as you on this journey.
I feel like their support is what made me keep going in life, cause their backgrounds is a lot worse than mine, but they still have the ability to get up every day, work hard, go to work, and still have the time to be with me because I'm their son, and just the love they have for me and the love I have for them is can't be matched.
Yes. A lot of people see you where you are now, and they just
Mhm.
sometimes people think you just came out that way. They don't understand all the steps that it took to get there, and really some of the adversity. Right? We talk about freshman year, you're hitting half court shots as a kid.
Mhm.
Usually, at least down here, someone like that, they're going in and they're flying from the start.
Mhm.
But given the competition and the what Philly was, you didn't play right away, right?
No. Going into my freshman year at Archbishop Wood High School, the coach was like basically saying like just wait your turn, cause like going into my ninth grade year, everybody on the team is D1. They're like all seniors, and like I wouldn't say high ranked juniors, but they were like a little bit ranked in the city. And I feel like being patient was the only thing I had to do. I really wasn't a person that would like to transfer and everything because I don't like I don't really like to like new people. I just like being with the people that's been there from the start. And I feel like that's what I had to do. Just had to wait my turn, just be patient.
And was that something you were set on from the start, or was there like a moment where you're like, you know what, maybe I'm flirting with leaving and having that, was it a decision or was it like, no, it's not even on my radar?
I definitely had a couple thoughts of transferring, but my family and like my friends was like, I don't like. They were basically telling me the opposite. Like, you can't have that mindset when you know, like you're gonna play next year. As a sophomore, I came off the bench and I was still upset because I knew I was better than the person that was starting. But as I got in the game, I barely came out the game, so that was about it.
And when was that moment? Was it sophomore year, junior year, EYBL, where you were just like, you know what, I'm one of the best players in the country. I can really do this.
I would say my sophomore year of high school and going into my junior year. I feel like that was a big year for me because that was my first year playing EYBL basketball. And playing for Team Final, that was also shout out to Team Final, man. Team Final was a big step up for me, and I feel like I just had to step up from there because playing in EYBL, you playing against the best players, best people in the country, and I feel like I just had to step up my game ever since then.
How was that adjustment? Because, like, some of these guys that you played with at EYBL, they've been famous since they were like eighth grade. Like, hey, this is the dude. And you, someone who didn't even really play varsity as a
Mhm.
freshman, now you're blowing up. What was that adjustment like to get that increased attention, maybe later than some other kids?
I just feel that I really wasn't worrying about the fame or anything. I was just worrying about just hooping. Like I love basketball. I remember somebody was like, "Yo, like you play basketball too much," and I was like, "What?" Like I just love to play it. I remember I would be like mostly every event. It don't even matter if I was invited or not. I was there, and that's just how much like how I like just love to play the game of basketball.
Aside from playing basketball, which I know takes up a lot of your time just for fun and also, working on your craft and the TikTok, which we talked about,
Yeah.
what are some of the things you like to do when you're not doing one of those things?
I probably just hang out with my friends or probably just play the video games. I don't really do anything else other than that.
Sports video games? What kind of video games you're playing?
I play a lot of 2K, NCAA, Madden, Call of Duty. Basically, all like the modern games they're out right now.
You create yourself in the game or not
Yeah,
quite?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you give yourself all 99s or is it like a balance like scouting report?
It's like you gotta grind. You gotta grind to like get 99 on 2K.
Kind of like real life, man.
Uh-huh.
So you get to now you're the man or you're being recognized, let's say. Miami's recruiting you. I understand Coach L, he caught COVID, and then as he was recovering, kind of like maybe against orders, goes up to see you play, has the mask on and everything. What was that like seeing a guy like Coach L, who's not a young dude, going through all that just to watch you play?
Uh it's just at that moment I feel that was like a decision making thing because after I seen that I was like he actually like cares about his players. Like he's sick, he doesn't even care about his health, but he ends up coming to my game and he's not feeling well. He actually ended up going home right after the game. Like he got right on the plane right after my game, and I feel like that love and everything that he showed towards my family and everything just meant a lot. And I feel like that's the reason why I'm here right now.
Is that something that's just a two-way street with you? Because obviously you're loyal to your high school program when a lot of
Hmm.
people would have been out of there the first second they weren't
Hmm.
playing. Is that something that you expect back to loyalty and that relationship from coaches recruiting you and the coaches that are coaching you now?
Yes, most definitely. I feel like loyalty goes a long way in this generation now. A lot of people aren't as loyal and aren't as real, but I feel like loyalty goes a long way when it comes to just recruiting and just like wanting people to be on your side.
So there's a lot of work that goes into basketball. Obviously, you love it, and you're most of the time, I'm sure you're having fun
Mhm.
working on your skills and getting new skills. But there's a grind element to it. There's times where your body's not feeling good, and you have to kind of push yourself to do the extra work. What drives you in those moments to push through?
I would say my family. My family definitely pushes me to go through because I've seen them struggle. Because me being the youngest in the family, I've seen what everybody like going through and everything, and I feel like that just pushed me to basically what to do and what not to do in life and going up in the future, just growing up, just being a man and all that.
Now, part of that too is leaving your comfort zone, right? Obviously, you mentioned the relationship with Coach L, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of programs that you could drive to up from Philly that are big time programs as
Hmm.
well. You chose to not go too far, but it's, much different than Philly here in Miami. So, how did you see Miami during the recruiting process, meaning the city, the university, and everything else?
I honestly didn't like really care. I just really cared about the basketball part. Like I don't like it could have been the most ugliest gym, but the play style and everything just fitted me just right. And I knew that coming into here that all of the people that are on the staff was going to work with me, and that's actually what is happening right now.
And so you're here. Obviously, the basketball part's taking care of itself. Now that you are here, what are some of the things that you like about the city, the university, just the whole environment and vibe?
I like all of the students. All of the students are actually pretty cool and everything. They're actually down to earth, and they're not like some people act towards people who are like known and everything. They kind of act weird and everything, but everybody's just real cool and kind. They just go up to me like a normal person.
Yeah, that's like I see you at the football game. I saw you recently.
Oh yes, yes, yes,
Yeah, what was
yes,
that
yes.
experience like?
The football game is actually pretty insane. Now that our football team is actually really really good this year, and shout out to them. Shout out my man Justin Scott if y'all know him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's my boy.
he can play basketball too a little bit. I heard.
Yeah, he's told me that he used to play in high school. But I don't know. He can't take me though. So, but yeah, that was actually another surreal moment just being in there. I was actually with the Cat 5 people.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was down there. That was also a cool moment as well.
Now the basketball team that you're on is so unique because like, you're really heavy in the portal era and the NIL era now, where this Miami team, usually you be coming as a freshman to a team that's already there.
Mhm.
This is almost like a new team, right? Everybody's getting to know each other. So what's that been like just coming to a team where you're not the new guy and pretty much everybody aside from a couple dudes are the new guys?
Uh, I feel that just everybody's been getting along very well. That everybody's new, so I feel like that just made us come together even more stronger. Cause there was only 3 people that stayed, and there was 10 more people that 10 new more people, including myself. And I feel like we're our chemistry is actually like really good. We're all there. We all like each other. Nobody like doesn't like each other. We all get along very well. We all make each other laugh. Like in practice is actually fun. In the locker room is even funnier. Just we all get along very well.
Is there, is there any advice that your parents gave you before you left on this journey that's just like, they're worried, obviously. Everybody's worried when their kid leaves. Just a natural part of life. Anything they told you to kind of just any jewels they left you with before you came to Miami?
My dad gives me a lot of quotes whenever I talk to him. One of them was just he was basically saying like he's like don't worry about all the news, just stay to yourself. And I feel like that goes a long way. Just being to yourself and not worrying about all the noise and what's going around you because that's really just gonna mess you up in your head. And I feel like sports and everything else, the mental part is a big thing now.
And speaking of the mental part, I always see Tom Brady talking about even though he's everybody calls him the GOAT, he's always had the mentality of being the 6th round pick.
Mm.
Football wise, Cam Ward, guys like that, they're hot now, but they weren't always like that. You as someone who again weren't playing varsity as a freshman, which is crazy considering where you are now.
Mm.
Does that still drive you that at some point people doubted you?
Yes, there's a lot of doubters still that doubt me now, and that's definitely motivation to keep me going and definitely to prove people wrong. I feel like that's the motivation. I love to prove people wrong. Like I feel like whenever in high school, the when the crowd used to chant like overrated, and everything, that used to get me going like right away.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a lot of chance here in the ACC, but I know you're ready for it. We got a lot of questions
Mhm.
from the fans. Like we were talking about before the show. We put it out to social media,
Yes.
see what questions everybody had for Jalil, and you had the most questions we've seen today, man. So
Oh
you got a lot of
God.
people interested in you and want to hear from you, including some people you might know from back in Philly.
Okay.
Got at Joel Rod here says, "What's it like having so much aura?"
Oh gosh. No. Hey man, I don't really got no aura for real. That comes with experience.
That's right. At Jerry J615, is there any NBA player you model some of your game after?
I would say Anthony Simons, Steph, and I'd probably say probably a little bit of Brandon Boston.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
You're from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a big basketball watcher? I mean, obviously you play the game.
Yeah.
Some people play and they don't watch. Like, you watch a lot of basketball as well?
Yeah. If I like a person, then I'll watch them. Like I'll not even watch them like now. I will watch like their old clips just to see how like what they would do and what their drive was at that young of an age.
Any Allen Iverson?
Huh?
Any Allen Iverson or no?
I feel like his game is like nowhere near compared to mine.
Yeah, no,
He's like, I don't know, A is 101. There's no other AI.
That's true. That's true. I had to throw the Philly in there. That was my favorite player growing up.
Yeah.
At Chance for Life, how do you manage academics and basketball?
Those two, they actually balance out very well. Practice, is up to like we play like 3:30 to 6. I just do, and I have a couple tutors, that. No, all that academic stuff is taken care of.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages, right? At the University of Miami, it's a private school, so
Yeah.
small classes. They know your name, and you can do it that
Yeah,
way.
without academics, there's no basketball. So I gotta put that first.
Absolutely. Got a question here from a Natty M. What are you looking forward to the most on the court, helping your team succeed?
I would say probably just playing my role, not doing a lot of extra stuff. Just playing my role and just doing whatever it takes to make the team win.
Gotcha. Whole lot of tag wants to know who's a role model you look up to in your life outside of basketball.
I'd probably say my dad. Me and my dad haven't always been on the same page, but just growing up, all the long talks that we've had, just has been something that a son will always need. Like a son always needs their dad in their life, and I feel like my dad has stepped up ever since.
That's something that happens to everybody. Is like you fight with your dad, and then you get a little older, and you're like, all right, I kind of see what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps happening. Trust me. Bethea wants to know, what's the biggest change? You've been playing basketball your whole life. What's the biggest change in basketball for you, just your daily routine since going to college? The game's the same, but it's not the same routine, right?
Yeah, I feel like my routine is probably a lot of running, cause college, you have to run a lot, so your conditioning has to be like a little up there, because you're playing 40 minutes. There's 40 minutes in a college game, so it's a lot of time. You can get tired very easily, and I feel like just putting conditioning in my routine means a lot.
Has your game changed at all? You played against good competition already, but since coming here, has your game changed at all?
I wouldn't say my game has changed, but the physical part has changed very much. I feel like I gained like over like 15 pounds since I've been here.
Wow. Nia World wants to know, without the basketball fame, without the highlights, and without the attention, who is Jalil?
Jalil is a very down to earth person. He's actually very normal. You just got to get to know him at first. And I don't know, Jalil is just like everybody else, normal kid. He actually laughs a lot, and I don't know, he's just a kid at the end of the day. He's 18 years old. He's a kid like everybody else, like every other 18-year-old.
If you were 5'9" and basketball is not happening in college, what would you be doing right now, or wanting to do?
What I want to do, I probably like I would like to own like my own like business or something.
Gotcha. You can still do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Castula wants to know, what's your biggest goal in life?
My biggest goal in life is basically just get as far as I can and succeed. Like my biggest goal is probably to make the NBA. But if that doesn't happen, then I don't even know. There's always a plan B, and I feel like if I don't make the NBA, I'll probably just be like a pro somewhere. Yeah.
Showtime Kerr wants to know, what's your favorite thing about basketball?
Favorite thing about basketball is probably the competitive part about it. Like I'm such a competitor that it drives me to work hard every day and just to keep playing, fighting through adversity. Yeah.
Do you compete outside of basketball? Are you one of those guys that video games,
Yes.
everything?
Yes, all the time. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a board game, video game, racing. It can be, I don't even know, like first to sit down. Like I'm just a competitor at everything.
Does that go back to your family?
Yes, my dad, my mom, my brothers, even my older sister. We're all just competitors at anything.
Yes. That never leaves you, right? Once you grow up in that environment, it's just part of you.
Mm.
Mish 215, you may know this guy. Says, do you remember when you used to cook 16-year-old hoopers at Junod? I think I'm
Oh,
saying that right.
yeah,
Junod.
yeah,
When you were
Janad.
Junod, when you were
Oh
nine.
yeah. Janad is a park that in middle school where I used to go to middle school. It was like one of them local parks. And I just went there just to hoop. Me and my brother, Jabril, used to go over there and just hoop. And I feel like that's kind of like what I was like the biggest like basketball player over there because of how good I was. And I feel like that kind of went a long way. Just being down, like I made a lot of friends doing just playing basketball, just being myself.
Was it true that you were cooking 16-year-olds when you were 9?
Yeah, I was like 9 years old, just playing against like all the older people. I feel like that's probably what made me better.
What would you do? I mean, I'm assuming you're not going in the paint too much with those big guys. You're just out there shooting threes or
I was just faster than everybody. I was faster, and I don't know. They would just be so angry to the point where I would just laugh at them, just get them even more angry because I was just killing them so much.
it's a good thing you had Big Brother out there to protect you a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Love Lydia wants to know, what do you like to do in your free time other than basketball?
Uh, my free time, I like to visualize. That's one thing I like to do. Visualize. 'Cause, sometimes when things aren't going my way, I gotta learn how to just go, get away from basketball, just be to myself, be alone, and just think about and just like sometimes I write. I got like a little notebook, and I just write down like all my goals and all my like things I want to do in life, things I want to be.
Yeah, I'd heard that you like to write. You mentioned writing your goals and things like that. Do you write anything else? Like, do you write, like, I don't know, creatively or like poetry, or is it more just like trying to focus your brain?
I'm trying to focus my brain. I feel like the mental part has like hurt me sometimes. I haven't always been mentally stable, but I feel like that comes with time, and I feel like I've been doing a lot better with that.
Yeah, I've heard with that, it wasn't anything like, negative, or it
No,
was more like if you didn't do something right, it maybe would bother you more.
I was just like, I'm just very hard on myself. Whenever I know like what I'm capable of, and I just don't do it. I'm just very hard on myself.
Kristen wants to know, was the move hard coming from Miami to Philly, or sorry, from Philly to Miami?
It's definitely something to get used to. It's very hot out here. Palm trees. I ain't never gonna get used to that. And just I'll probably say no, not really. It's another place just to be at. About
Yeah.
it.
I always ask about the iguanas because it's got to be tripping people
Oh
out to
yeah,
see
I ain't
giant
gonna lie.
iguanas.
I'm not used to them lizards. Like the little ones, the big ones. I'm not. I will never get used to that.
Jay Pringle 15 wants to know, when did you know that Miami was the right choice for you?
I knew Miami was the right choice when how when Coach L had came to that game. He actually came to like a lot of games. Came to some AAU games. Came to my high school game. He came to my when I had already committed. He came to one of my state games, and yeah, he just showed a lot of love, and I feel like that's just what made me want to come here.
Last question here from Lyric Davis 24K. What's one thing or quote that you try to remember every day or every chance you get?
Be great. I feel like being great just goes a long way, and just be great and just be yourself. Cause if you like, if you try to be somebody that you're not, then that's just gonna like mess you up, and your image is just gonna be messed up.
Well, listen, I know a lot of Canes fans are excited to see what you yourself are about. They love getting to learn about you here in this forum. So I appreciate you joining us. Storm Session every single Wednesday. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and definitely go check out Jalil at the Watsco. It's going to be a show. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Appreciate you.